With the massive success of the soul leveling anime, it's really no surprise that more Korean manhwa are finally getting their own anime. For years, us manhwa fans have been waiting for our favorite series to hit the mainstream, and now, we're going to be seeing a bunch of adaptations that could really take over the anime scene. I'm someone who's read way too many of these comics, and I've been keeping a close eye on which are finally getting their adaptations. So now, I'm going to break down which 5 manhwa have gotten their confirmed anime releases. If they're adapted correctly, I think most of these anime could be on par with soul leveling, or possibly even better. Alright, so have you ever read a story so many times that you basically know the whole thing by heart? No? Well, I don't care, I'm gonna pretend like you said yes, and just continue. Anyways, what if one day that same story became real life, and you're the only one that had finished it? Well, welcome to Omniscience Reader's Viewpoint, where our protagonist Kim Dokja isn't some overpowered main character, or even really the main character of the story. He's just a dude that read the lore. And now that his favorite novel has taken over reality, his weapon is plot armor. It's pretty busted. Unlike your usual power fantasy main character that gets isekai'd with an OP sword, Omniscience Reader's Viewpoint is kind of a story about stories. We get to see what happens when you know the entire plot. Are you able to change it? Or are you just going to remain as a side character? While this whole overtaking is kind of going on, Dokja is out here trying to survive. Every move he makes is calculated with the story's plotline in mind, and the best part? It's live on Twitch! That's right, just imagine if every mythological god and legendary warrior from history were watching live and betting on your life. That about sums up Omniscience Reader's Viewpoint. The gods are basically an audience watching a live stream and trying to decide how Dokja will die. As of now, there's about 250 chapters out, and I don't really see it ending anytime soon. There's so many different directions the story could take, and reading only one chapter a week has really been starting to piss me off. Now time to ask the question, can the anime actually do the story justice? I mean, while the story has a lot of cool fights, it's not just about that. It's about the different layers of the story, the tension of knowing what could happen but not knowing if it will, and the world building in this is some of the best I've ever seen. So I'm curious as to how that'll translate into anime. This isn't just your MC gets stronger story, but something a lot deeper and more unique. Alright, now for the only non-Korean anime adaptation. I'm sorry for lying to you. They're not all manhwa. One of them is... What's the English version of a manhwa? I guess it's just a... I think manga is Japanese for comic. Okay, it's a comic. This is the only non-Korean adaptation on the list, but it is the one I'm looking forward to the most. The Beginning After the End. The Beginning After the End, or T-Bait, as I'm going to call it, because I'm not going to say that the entire time. It's just a reincarnation isekai, but done really, really well. Now, our main character, Arthur, or King Gray, after dying as a king, he's reincarnated into a baby, and he's a baby. Like, he shits himself episode 1, man. Now, this isn't just your usual main character gets reincarnated and is super overpowered. Wait, now that I say that, it is that. But it does it right, okay? It does it right. Now, the best comparison I can make to this show is Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, except I thought it was way better. I don't know, just the way the main character isn't horny the entire time, it made it a lot better for me. Instead of reincarnating as a teenager and just one-shotting everyone right off the bat, he kind of takes his time to build up his power and explore the world around him. You watch Arthur grow and form relationships and kind of explain why he's so strong at the end of the story. From his childhood, you get to watch him learn, train, and actually struggle a little bit to fight some of his battles. And then we also get something pretty rare in isekai, a good family around him. Instead of being some moody, black-haired character with nothing to lose who got his family killed, I'm looking at you, Sasuke, Arthur actually cares for his family. It makes every fight he's in have some stakes. Don't let the wholesome family fool you, though. This story gets pretty dark. I am almost caught up. I'm waiting for the chapters to build up a little bit, because reading one at a time would make me sad. The about 160, 170 chapters I have are probably my favorite manhwa of all time. Yeah, I said I like it better than solo leveling. The fights are awesome. The magic system actually feels well thought out for once in an isekai. I know, it's something you've never heard of before. We even get a school arc, and I'm a sucker for some school arcs. Alright, if this adaptation rushes through Arthur's childhood, or messes up the world building, we're gonna have some problems, alright? Hear that, Studio A-Cat? If you kill my child, I'm gonna be pissed. Oh, and this is coming out in April, by the way, of this year, so look out for it. Have you ever been playing a game, seen someone else with loot better than yours, and thought, yeah, that's mine now? Well, it's basically Tomb Raider King. Our main character just steals everything from everybody, and it's pretty fun to watch. In our world, we get a bunch of powerful relics from history that start appearing everywhere, and these relics give people insane abilities. Nations fight over them, giant corporations want them, but our main guy? Oh, this is a very Korean name. I've never said that out loud, I've only ever said it in my head. I'm gonna call him Seo, so I don't embarrass myself. Anyways, he's built a bit different, alright? He's not here to save the world, he's not trying to save everybody, he's just trying to get a bag. And after going to the past to get revenge on his old boss for killing him, he really doesn't listen to others very well. Regression is nothing special in Manhwa. I probably read 40 regression stories in the past week, but it kind of lacks a space in anime, which I think is gonna change pretty soon. Regression is gonna take over. It's gonna be the new isekai, you're gonna hate it. But for now, it's gonna feel fresh and new if you're an anime-only watcher. Now, Tomb Raider King is the longest and one of the few completed manhwa on the list, which spans about 400 chapters. While this really started out great, it really stalled in the middle for me and got super repetitive. I mean, 400 chapters is a lot. Compare that with Solo Leveling's 200 chapters where they completed the story, you can see that there's going to be some repetitiveness and long arcs in the middle. I actually took a break around chapter 300 because I just got bored with it. But this could easily be solved in the anime by cutting out some parts that really aren't needed and just fix the pacing issues. Next up is Lotna Saga. Wait, is this our MC? Where's my normal twink MC? Why is there a big buff shirtless dude on my screen? Oh well. Anyways, Lotna Saga definitely has a unique start. Our MC, Ryu Hanbin, gets dumped into a tutorial zone and, because of a glitch, is kind of stuck here. And this tutorial isn't easy. It's starting to make Elden Ring look more like Hello Kitty Island Adventure. And because of that, when he finally does make it out after 22 years, he's a little bit stronger than most. But instead of your usual, look at me, I'm so strong isekai protagonist, he's just kind of tired and excited to get out. He's been living in hell for over 20 years, and now he's gonna deal with every NPC wanting to kill him just because he's from a different world. And that feels a little bit racist to me. I don't know. After we get to see Hanbin struggle for 20 years, after he does eventually get into his fights, it feels so worthwhile and rewarding. Him being stronger than everybody else at the start feels really deserved after seeing what he went through. This webtoon also had great side characters and great world building. But after being made to believe that Hanbin was the strongest around him, you constantly meet new people that are way stronger, so the story never feels like a One Punch Man type story. I think what sets this manhwa apart is really the side characters though. If you've read it, then you know how cool Baralt is, all the villains. If they're able to capture all that in the anime, we could be looking at one of the best fantasy anime in a while. So usually, there's two types of sports anime. The ones that really make you want to get up and actually try out the sport, and the ones that make you feel like you die if you tried. As for the boxer, well, you can just guess which one that is. I mean, I tried shadow boxing in the mirror for 30 seconds after this, and I almost passed out. So no boxing for me anytime soon. Now, the boxer isn't your typical anime sports story. Most sports anime generally follow the same formula: simple protagonist, the big dreams of winning it all, and tough training to get there. But the boxer? It's just straight hands. Our main character is Yu. The kid's so good at boxing, he doesn't even need to try. There's no passion, no struggling, just raw talent. And as for his opponents, yeah, I just ended up kind of feeling bad towards the end. We also get to follow Jay though, who is kind of more that underdog character. He's not gifted like you and needs to work harder than anyone else just to be able to compete in this sport. This is really what sets the boxer apart, being able to see two completely different perspectives and how they both approach the sport of boxing. Now, the boxer isn't just about the fights, but more about how they're shown. The unique art, all the cool opponents, and just the weight behind every punch. If the anime is able to capture that, we could be looking at one of the best sports anime in a while. Now, whether you're just a sports fan or love watching people get their shit rocked, look out for when the boxer gets released. Well, that's about all I got for now. Don't forget to subscribe and like, because it really helps. And I just told you all the webtoons I've been gatekeeping. Actually, I don't know if I can call it gatekeeping since they're all super popular. I don't know. I'm just gonna go read more manhwa.